Hey, it's Scott Todd, and today I want to talk about capital. Now, this came from a piece that I wrote on Substack this week, but I want to go further. I want to go deeper here. And I'm going to tell you a story. Specifically, this story is about France and the Maginot Line that they built. If you're not familiar with that line and what it is, let me tell you. You see, between World War One and World War Two, France, well, they kind of had enough. They did not want Germany to invade them. They had a bad experience with World War One. The rhetoric was rising. And so what they decided to do was on the German-French border, they decided to build what's known as the Maginot Line. And this was like a state-of-the-art facility. It was concrete fortified. Contained underground bunkers. There was artillery. They started this project in the 30s, and the French government invested $3 billion, and it took them 10 years to build this thing. It was finished in 1940. And by all accounts, it was an engineering marvel. It was beautiful. It was impenetrable. And again, it had one goal: to keep the Germans out. They did not want the Germans in France. They declared it done in 1940. Funny enough, it was just before the Germans invaded France. And so if you're sitting there thinking like, wait a minute, the French government spent 10 years building this underground facility. And you're thinking, wait a minute, how did they invade then? How did they get through this massive defense system? Simple. The Germans, they went around it. They literally went around it. You see, they invaded France through Belgium. And the Maginot Line was not really in the war's path at all. France fell in 6 weeks. The Germans conquered the country in 6 weeks, despite this entire vast defense system. What the French did wrong is they prepared this defensive system for World War I tactics. See, in World War I, there was trench warfare. There were static lines. They didn't have the same warfare that they had in World War II. It was different. So in World War II, they needed mobility and flexibility, and they didn't build for that. They spent billions of dollars and a decade of time building something that was not necessarily supportive of the war that they were going to face. Now, why am I telling you this? Why is this a big deal? Well, I've analyzed hundreds of real estate businesses, hundreds of them. It's from people like you and other operators who take the IPP assessment. But 56% of operators are stuck in the same spot: available capital. Available capital is one of the vital needs that we measure. And what's happening is so many operators are building their own Maginot Lines. They're building their own defense systems. And they're spending time building systems, but they're building the wrong systems. Yeah, they're mailing offers. They're putting in their CRMs. They're building broker networks. They're writing SOPs. They're trying to automate stuff. They're trying to hire people. They're all beautifully organized and, quite frankly, very impressive. But when the big moment comes, they get the deals under contract. They can't close. They can't close, because they have not built a capital acquisition system. Now, I'm sure that these numbers will change over time, but right now, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that people are not building the capital acquisition system. So in a way, they're building the wrong defense system for the business that they're actually trying to build. So we're all spending time on our deal flow and other systems, but yet the available capital isn't there. So it's like our own wall here. It's not going to be useful to us if we don't get that under control. Furthermore, I did this myself. You see, I've had 5 forays into real estate investing over a 20-year period. I've been a real estate investor full-time for 10 years. But before that, I tried real estate investing 4 separate times, and they failed. 2 of the 4 failures may have come from capital or the lack of a capital acquisition strategy or system. Heck, I've lost count. Maybe it's 3. Okay, it's 2 or 3 of them. So a very high number. I'm right there within that same percentage if I look at this. And what I didn't know at the time is that that's what I needed to focus on first before I went out and built all of these fancy systems to bring me back deals. And yeah, I lost my fair share of earnest money. I lost my fair share of due diligence money where I did complete due diligence on properties that I could not find the capital to get closed. I lost time, but there's something more important that I lost that I think that we sometimes forget, and that's that I lost my confidence. That's so important because the number one job of any entrepreneur, any business owner is to protect their confidence. So why? Why did I have these problems? I mean, I didn't have a capital system. I did not have a system in which I could go out and raise capital. And I see this pattern everywhere. Operators are pouring their time and their money and their energy into acquisition systems. Everybody teaches deal flow. Everybody teaches tactics. And quite honestly, it feels productive. I'm mailing these letters. I'm talking to people. I'm doing these things. We feel productive and we feel like we're doing something. But at the end of the day, we're not fighting the right battle. We're not preparing for the right battle. Because what's happening here is that we're chasing after leads. We're protecting against the lack of leads or against the lack of deal flow, but we're not doing anything about the lack of funding. We're building infrastructure before securing the bloodline of our businesses, which is capital. And see, that's the real bottleneck in real estate investing. Mailings and deal flows, they get attention. It's the capital that gets results. And so it's important that we first create a system, or at least have some system in place that we're building in which we can fund them. Because if we can't fund the deals, well, frankly, we're kind of running an expensive marketing company. That's what it comes down to. So let's talk about why this sequence matters. The investor priority pyramid is something that I created for the upcoming book, Fix This Next for Real Estate Investors, and it exists for a reason. The base level is deal flow, and it has 5 core needs. The second one, right after knowing your numbers, is available capital. It's not third, it's not fourth, it's second. And most operators skip it and they jump to deal attraction. They jump to that because, frankly, finding deals is a lot more fun than building capital systems and stuff like that. And literally nobody talks about this. So what does this look like in practice? You see, if we had a capital system and you had a deal that you were ready to fund and you didn't have the capital, but let's say that you had stopped to go out and build the capital system. Well, that operator can find the deal. And then let's just say that they need $50,000. Well, they may have a list of 25 potential partners that they've built over a 6-month period. They get on the phone, they make some phone calls, and next thing you know, they have 4 people or a few people that have the capital that's needed to close the deal, and the deal closes. The inverse of that is that we don't have a capital system. And what happens is the operator goes out and they find a deal. And again, they need $50,000 and they start to scramble. They start to call everybody they know. I've done that. They start to post on Facebook groups. I haven't done that because, frankly, Facebook didn't exist when I was trying to go through this. They pitch at their local real estate investor association meeting, that local RIA meeting, done it. 30 days later, nothing, and the deal dies. And when that deal dies, that's when the self-doubt creeps in. And that's never a good thing. So when we compare these 2 deals, one where someone had built a capital system and one where someone hadn't, it's the same deal, but it's got a different outcome. And the only difference between the 2 deals was that one operator built a capital system. They had built relationships with capital partners. They had it lined up. And the inverse is that they didn't. See, it's not about how many deals you can find. It's about how many you close. And it's that closing that will keep you in the game. It's when you take those hits to your self-confidence and the doubt creeps in, that's where trouble sets in. So what's the action here? I want you to take a hard look at your business right now. I want you to ask yourself some questions. Do you have a deal flow system but no capital system? Have you built an impressive infrastructure without securing funding sources? If so, you may have built your own Maginot Line. It's impressive, it's expensive, and it's going to be irrelevant when it matters the most. So what is your business's vital need? And that's where the IPP assessment comes in. Take it. It's 5 minutes. It's 25 yes or no questions. It's free. It will show you if you're building this fancy infrastructure in the wrong order. And what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to lose deals because you're focusing in the wrong spot. I don't want you to build your own Maginot Line. So take the assessment. It's in the show notes, and continue to resist the things that will distract you from what your business really needs. And I will see you in the next episode. Take care.